To celebrate the launch of the Weber Spirit Connect barbecue into the Weber Spirit series, I have a range of fresh, delicious new recipes to show you how easy it is to roast, bake, grill succulent meats, and bake some delicious crispy base pizzas. One of my favorite pizzas is a simple bruschetta pizza. I have some sun-ripened tomatoes that are screaming to be picked in my Vegepod and some beautiful fresh basil. So we're keeping it really simple with a traditional base and then topping it with our fresh ingredients after. This is a really exciting addition to the range. The Weber Connect has built-in smart technology. This one here, the EX335. has that sear burner too, so we can get it really hot, perfect for any backyard. So we can get straight into baking our pizzas. I have made a batch of our favorite pizza dough that you can find on our website. If you're short on time, you can use pre-made bases, but this is the best way. To transform our barbecue into a pizza oven, we are using the Weber Crafted Outdoor Cooking Kitchen Collection Pizza Stone. First, what we need to do is just remove the cooking grill on the right-hand side. We can insert this frame piece, pop that in. Now we can go in with our glazed pizza stone and our spacer piece. As with all Weber barbecues, it's important to preheat your barbecue before the food even goes on there, especially when baking pizzas. We want our dough to bubble and blister, get that golden base straight away. So preheat with all your burners on medium for 15 minutes. Because we have our dough already made, all I need to do is make a simple garlic oil. This is all that is going on that dough before it heads into the barbecue. So all that we need to do is add some finely chopped garlic, olive oil, and my favorite Weber herb seasoning. Now onto the dough. Of course you could use pre-made bases, but it's always best if you have the time to make your own fresh dough. This is my favorite recipe. It's gonna be on the website so you can make this at home too. So let's flour our board. Perfect. Now this makes 2 large pizzas, or if you're using our small pizza stones on the other barbecues, it'll make 4 delicious little pizzas. So I'm going to cut this into 2. Alrighty, on to shaping. We'll cover that one so it doesn't dry out. Form it into a bowl. I always like to do this process completely with my hands, not with a rolling pin. Rolling pins squash out all those air bubbles. We want those air bubbles because they'll form pockets inside the dough. As it hits a hot stone, it'll steam and be delicious. This recipe is inspired by one of my favorite local Italian restaurants. So simple, delicious, and really showcases tomatoes and basil when they're in season. And what I love now is that I can cook this at home whenever I want. So once we've shaped it into a circle, flour up your hands and then give it that pizza toss. Give it a go if you're at home, no one's watching, it's fine. This is looking good. I'm trying to not put a hole in it, but it's okay. It's homemade pizza. It's meant to be rustic. All right, let's bring our board in. We just want to put a really good amount of semolina onto the board. Okay, so we've got our semolina on there. What that's going to do is reduce the friction so your dough will slide straight off. It's just like having little wheels under your pizza or something like that. So now I just want to top this with our garlic oil. Hot tip, leave this till the last minute. Do not do your dough too far in advance. Otherwise it'll absorb that semolina and you'll have a lot of trouble sliding it onto your pizza stone. All right. Delicious. Can smell this garlic already. We're all having garlic breath today, it's fine. Now that our stone is really hot, we just need to turn it down to the correct baking setting for this one. We just need to turn the center burner to low and that third burner to low. Time to bake this bad boy. How amazing having the freshest tomatoes and basil. I absolutely love my Vegepod. It's like having your very own kitchen garden. You can top anything with the most flavorful ingredients grown at home. These tomatoes are bursting with flavor, and honestly, this basil is unlike any store-bought stuff. This is all this needs. This looks amazing. I just love that the garlic has toasted itself on there. Let's layer on these tomatoes. Spread them out. All right, so we've already got a beautiful amount of seasoning underneath those tomatoes with salt, but I'm going in with some extra pepper. I love freshly ground cracked pepper all over your tummies. Now, this next one is optional. Balsamic glaze adds sweetness, that little bit of tang, and just rounds out all of that acidic tomato and the fresh bread. Top it with this beautiful basil. Wonderful. And the last ingredient that I like to top my pizzas with is a little wiggle of olive oil. This looks absolutely incredible. This really is a celebration of summer, the freshest ingredients thanks to Vegepod and of course our Spirit barbecue. If you're wanting to find out more, head to your local Weber retailer or jump online. I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is for me to tuck in. Yes, hear that crunch? Oh my gosh. Look at that. I just need a bit of basil. Bellissimo.